Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to December's Let's Make It, or Let's Cook It.
Yeah, yeah. Come cook with us.
So this month we are going to be making some chili, and you will be receiving a recipe as well. You will be getting a bag of spices. And of course, it's up to you to purchase the other items such as the meat and vegetables, the beans, and yeah.
Yeah. If you're a vegetarian, you could use ground round. I often use that in my chili.
Yep.
Today we'll definitely use ground beef.
And I suppose too, if you were doing keto, then you would eliminate possibly the beans.
The beans, yeah.
Yeah,
So all kinds of ways to personalize your chili
but for today,
for today.
we will be making the same recipe that we will be giving you. And we will be using some Instant Pots. I know I've never used one before, so that's why we're doing this together. I hear a lot of people get pretty excited when the steam comes popping out.
It's really fun.
Other people are maybe slightly afraid of that. And there's two different settings, of course. You can actually use this as a slow cooker as well by venting it during the whole cooking process.
Yeah.
Or closing up the vent and using it as a pressure cooker.
Yeah, and you can, of course, it's got so many things we can do. We're going to saute the meat in here and just keep adding in.
Yeah, okay. So let's get started. In your spice bag, we have a teaspoon of white sugar. We also have 1.5 teaspoons of salt. The recipe actually calls for kosher, but we're just going to use table salt today. We've got, about 3/4 of black pepper. And that accounts for that extra that got spilled over there. And then we also have the most unusual one that we're going to find we're adding in that most people will question is we're putting cocoa powder into our chili.
I'm going to be honest, I've made chili a lot, but I've never put cocoa powder in.
Well, this might be what you've been missing all along.
I agree. I'm pretty excited about it.
Apparently, it's going to give it a really nice smoky flavor. And
so it won't taste like chocolate chili.
No, it's not going to taste like chocolate chili. And it's not going to be, and it's not, and cocoa is not sweet.
That's true.
You know, have you ever like done that as a kid and thought, ooh, that's going to taste pretty good when I lick my fingers in it.
Yeah.
It's slightly disappointing in that sense. We also have our ground cumin. Okay, so with that, we've got 2 teaspoons as well. So 1, 2. We have paprika. Again, our recipe called for smoked paprika, and we were able to get paprika. That does not want to open.
I don't know if it makes a big difference.
Well, since we've got the cocoa in there, I think that should
flavor.
good. That should be good. And again, we are looking at 1, 2 of those, and we have our chili powder. And this time we are using our tablespoon.
I'm always surprised, like sometimes I just measure with my heart and I just add some chili powder, and it turns out like when you actually measure it for real as we are, it's a lot more than I thought. I don't think I put enough in when I don't measure properly.
Well, the reason I like to measure if I'm using a new recipe is like, well, what is it actually supposed to be like?
Yeah.
You know, and then
before you rate the recipe.
Yeah, and then after that, then, I think I preferred if it had a little extra this or that, or it didn't have enough salt for me, or didn't have enough, you know, whatever that balance is that you're looking for.
Go.
And then you can adjust it from there. But I think at first you kind of want to give it that test run. Okay, so that's all that was in our spice bag. We're using beef broth and a different variety of beans that we have rinsed, as well as some tomatoes and some tomato sauce. So I think the first step that we need to do is we're going to open up our Instapots, make sure that they're plugged in and ready to go. And we're going to add some oil in there and start sauteing our meat.
Sounds good. Let's get going.
Nothing like having a sous chef to cut your onions.
All right, now we're going to add the onions. We use sweet onions, but we still cried our tears. I love them, but I always cry. All right, we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes. Add it in with our ground beef, get them a little soft. Deliciousness. And even as I'm cooking them, I can feel it in my eyes. So that means they're good onions. We'll set this up for 3 minutes of frying. Oh, it already smells really good. And I have 1.5 teaspoons of garlic. There's your half. And your one. I love garlic. I don't know if we should be making this close to lunch, but it's really smelling good.
Maybe it's good that we're making it close to lunch.
Okay, so we're going to set everything in. Our tomato sauce. Our tomatoes. Oh, it smells so good. Our kidney beans. Our kidney and pinto beans. We had trouble finding pinto beans.
Drained and rinsed.
They are drained and rinsed and ready to go. So time to add all our spices that you got in your package. Get that stirred in before we add the broth. The broth adds a nice flavor. I've made it with broth and without broth, and I prefer it with. I always like to measure over my dish just to make sure if any spills, just not wasted. So everything is in this one. We'll just add it to the next one, and then we'll set it on the pressure cook. Look how good that looks. The broth, we have all of our ingredients in both of our chilies. All right, so we're ready for the pressure cooking phase. So we're going to put it on this one. We're going to pressure cook it on beans and chili. And this one we just, and it goes. So we've got it on the pressure cooker, ready to go. See, there we go. And now we wait for it to tell us when it's time to vent it.
1, 2, 3. I know it seems scary, but it's really fun.
Little balls have dropped, and we're ready to open them. Let's see what we get. Woohoo!
Oh, yum. And I just twist mine.
Oh, they look great.
Are they too liquidy? Because if they're too liquidy, we can actually, if you prefer your chili to actually be thicker than that, you can actually cook it longer.
That's true.
And, and that way it'll, the moisture
Yeah.
will boil off.
And cook off. Oh, they smell great.
Look at all those wonderful ingredients. Chili can be served on macaroni. Chili can be served on rice.
Absolutely.
Can be by itself or even with taco chips. But today we brought
Crunchy
some
bread.
crunchy bread. Yes, that's always another option. But another thing that I like to serve with, shredded cheese. It's nice to have some green onions to sprinkle on top. And if you are good with dairy, there's always sour cream.
Oh, always.
So thanks for
Cooking with us. See you next time.